Retired General Chiwenga have addressed a public gathering today since the Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 was addressed. He was speaking uh, at PRAZ inaugural Southern Africa People's Forum and addressing the people. He said corruption would be, he spoke against corruption and said they will not tolerate corruption in spite of your position. The law has to deal with corrupt elements. I think he is consistent on his messages that he has been speaking against Zwikanandas. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. Let's hear the man speaking. It's just a short, actually, video. Let's hear him. Okay.
The two directors of ceremonies, Minister for Harare Metropolitan Province, for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Senator Charles Chiwenga, the Deputy Minister of Finance and Economic Development, Honorable David Mnangagwa, Deputy Minister of Industry and Commerce, Honorable Raj Modi. The Procurement Regulatory Authority of Zimbabwe, Acting Board Chairman, Brigadier General Retired Chipokura, and other board members here present. The Procurement Regulatory Authority of Zimbabwe CEO, Dr. Clever Ruswa, and your distinguished team. Heads of Public Procurement Authority from across Southern Africa, the Director, Judicial Provincial Management, African Development Bank, Mr. Frank Mvura, Captains of Industry, and representatives of civil society. Forum speakers, notably Professor Arthur Hussein Mtambara, senior government officials, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Systems improve service delivery, stimulate economic growth, and deepen regional cooperation. I commend the Procurement Regulatory Authority of Zimbabwe and our regional partners for convening this important platform, which brings together policymakers, regulators, development development partners and procurement professionals to shape a common vision for the future of public procurement in Southern Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, we meet at a time when governments across the world are under increasing pressure to deliver more with few resources, to ensure value for money. Citizens rightfully expect efficient public services, modern infrastructure, quality health care, accessible education, and economic opportunities that improve livelihoods. The effectiveness of the effectiveness with which governments respond to these expectations depends significantly on the strength of their public procurement systems. Public procurement is therefore not merely an administrative function of government. It is one of the most strategic instruments available to the state for advancing national development, stimulating economic transformation, and delivering public value. Across many countries, procurement expenditure accounts for a significant portion of national.
Okay, so let me just play their snippets, I guess, where specifically he was speaking on corruption. Let's just listen to
Challenges confronting public procurement, including the challenges confronting public procurement, including direct procurement abuse, conflicts of interest, and limited public participation, are not solely technical in nature. They require strong institutions, political commitment, and effective enforcement mechanisms. Without effective compliance systems, even the most well-crafted legal frameworks and efficient technologies risk becoming ineffective in practice. I reaffirm Zimbabwe's unwavering commitment to transparency, accountability, and the prudent management of public resources. No individual should be above the law. No procurement process should be beyond scrutiny.
I think retired General Chiwenga, as you have heard yourself, he was spitting venom. The same retired General Chiwenga that we have seen before Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 of 2026 was actually effected through Parliament. Now it is in Senate. Parliament is expected on the 7th. We expect on the 7th of July, maybe that bill to have sailed through to even Senate. That is why Parliament would be resuming. It appears this is the date they have actually set up for everything to be done. Chiwenga reaffirming zero tolerance to corruption, and also we know that the government of Emerson Mnangagwa, which he is also part of, have been, stinking in terms of corruption in Zimbabwe, where Ziganandas do as they please. Monies are parceled in the streets of Zimbabwe, in the view of the members of public, the likes of Wicknell Chivayo, the likes of Tungwarara, they're actually dishing out monies publicly. We wonder which law are they following, because Zimbabweans are only allowed per day to withdraw about $1,000 and to carry it around. If you carry more than that, and he spoke also of citizens' participation, which is a very important issue or matter that citizens of Zimbabwe demands at the moment. We know that with Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 of 2026, the people of Zimbabwe have not been given an opportunity to participate in that process. Remember, this event that Chiwenga was actually addressing, he made it a point to address pressing issues at home when speaking about procurement. And also, he did not leave out institutions, weak institutions, saying having weak institutions will actually make it difficult to implement the laws of the land, no matter how good the laws of the land may be, which is what we have seen under Emerson Tambo. Not to say that he has enacted good laws. He has been pathetic when it comes to the laws governing the country, but equally so when it comes to implementation of the rule of law. And also he said that everyone in Zimbabwe should account. Accountability should not have eyes. Everyone, and he said all procurement processes should actually be clear. In Zimbabwe at the moment, we see Zwiganandas parading large stations of money, but we don't know how they receive this money. And also, they are given tenders, but there are no processes that we see publicly as the people of Zimbabwe actually paraded to us that, okay, these individuals, they have competed for the actually tenders in the country, and they managed to win. There is nothing like that. We know that if it's a tender in Zimbabwe, it's either it will go to Tungwarara, it will go to Takwirei, it will go to ZANU-PF cronies, not necessarily the people of Zimbabwe. So saying they should be transparent. We've never seen transparency, especially with institutions like, remember the creation of Mutapa Investment by Emerson Mnangagwa post 2023 elections, which was meant, by the way, to hide the procurement processes of the government. And it just makes announcements Zimbabweans cannot even trace and follow these announcements that they make in terms of how much they have made for the country, but the breakdown in terms of how and also how also they dish tenders. It is not a matter of public scrutiny. And Emerson Mnangagwa was deliberately doing so, understanding that he was carrying gross corruption in Zimbabwe, so he doesn't need the people of Zimbabwe to be aware of how his government actually gives, especially tenders, to Zwiganandas. And if you look at the message of Chiwenga, it was still a warning to Zwiganandas that you are not off the walk. The same message that he has been speaking before Cape 3 is the same message that he is speaking today. He is speaking about corruption, bad governance, that it is not good for the country. It is also not good for Southern Africa. He spoke about also beneficiation, saying that is the policy that should be pursued, taking into consideration that governments are supposed to deliver with limited resources, but we know that in Zimbabwe there are no limited resources. In fact, what we lack is the brains to translate massive resources to economic development that would be enjoyed by each and every citizen of Zimbabwe. So the general, speaking for the very first time, especially after Cape 3 sailed through. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members or the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Oganqubu Mhlabane is signing off. Let me love and live. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast as I give you more. I don't know, these days I struggle with this phone, especially in terms of stopping the live broadcast. The other time, this is exactly what was happening. I don't know what is happening today on YouTube because I'm done in terms of my analysis, but to switch this actually live broadcast off, I don't know what is happening, which means I have to switch it hours before it starts. It is switching off now. It's giving me a hard time. I don't know what is happening.